Hello. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about my new course that is starting in beginning of November, and this course is a shamanic journey back to your sacred sexuality. So it is a group course where we will be flowing through womb shamanic techniques for healing, for reconnection, for regeneration, with the goal, with the intention of reconnecting to that innate, beautiful, sacred sexuality, the center, the womb of the feminine within each of us. This course is for women, and specifically this round is specifically for healing sexual trauma and overcoming that trauma to really be able to access that gorgeous, gorgeous potential of the womb, the creation of the womb, everything the womb holds. So, the reason that I've created, and we will be co creating in this group, this beautiful healing from trauma of any kind, is because this is a big part of my journey and my healing. And what I do is I basically, my process works as in that I move through something and I go really deep into it, and then when I'm ready, when I've embodied it, I get asked to teach it. And so that's what I've been doing is I've been moving through all of these techniques and all of this embodiment, and now I'm being asked to teach it. So a big part of my background of my healing journey has come from healing different types of sexual trauma, specifically assaults, but also ancestral trauma, past life trauma, and just collective trauma from coming into the world. I mean, there's birth trauma, there's womb trauma, there's the trauma from our mothers, from when we were inside their womb, right? So much, and so this has been just a huge, huge aspect of my healing journey for years, and I have really learned how to move from that place of trauma into a place of like, this is my favorite part of myself. Like, I am so deeply, constantly enamored by and turned on by and like in ecstasy about the beautiful feminine sensuality and that sacred sexual connection that I have in my body. And it's my favorite thing to teach and work with one-on-one clients, to talk through ways to reconnect into the feminine, to reconnect into the womb, to reconnect into sexual energy, because it's something that can get turned off really early because there's so much shame and guilt and societal expectations and bullshit really around that sacred sexual energy and that sacred sexuality. And so it's something that gets turned off so fast. That womb space gets turned off so fast. And that is the biggest gift of being born in a female body, is having a womb and having a period and bleeding and being able to give birth, and not just to children. Like, the womb is the birthplace of everything. And so having a physical womb, like, we have this incredible creatrix power that is unparalleled by anything else. I mean, the universe is the womb that births us, and then we actually, like, as women, we actually have a womb as well to birth things into the world. And it's such a gift. I mean, it is the most beautiful thing that exists. And I didn't always used to feel that way. I would be like, that's gross. I don't even know that I want children. I don't care about my womb because I don't want to get pregnant. Like, I don't want any of that stuff, right? So I'm gonna leave my womb over the side, not think about it. Periods suck. Blah 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 blah. Now the way I think about it is so different. I absolutely love having my period because it means that I get to really connect into my womb, and the power of menstrual blood and the power of cycling and the power of that death cycle every month, releasing from the body, releasing the blood from the body, it's alchemical, it's magical. It is something that once we work through the shame around the cycle, it's incredible. It's like the best. It's one of my favorite parts of the month, honestly, because I love to go into that space. I love to go deep into my own like womb space and my shedding space and see what's going on, right? And I used to have terrible periods. I've had surgeries for how terrible periods I had were, and the surgeries like didn't get rid of the pain. Nothing got rid of that pain until I got into my womb space. So, um, anyway, coming back to this course, there's so many things. As you can see, there's so many places to go with womb shamanic work. And as a shaman myself, I've been through so much training. I do so much womb journeying. I always start with myself with this work. I've been doing this for so long by myself, and leading one-on-one clients through this. And this is really the next level of, okay, come with me on this incredible journey to deeply understand your womb and deeply heal what's there. Because again, I just want to go back to, this is our goal. I think my intention in this container is to teach you how to just move through whatever trauma you have in your womb space, and it can look like anything, right? Even if you don't know what trauma you have there, because of the way the world is and because of how we were born into the world, there's trauma there, right? The womb has been traumatized for centuries, and women, as we're waking up to that, we are now in this movement of shifting that and finally healing the trauma the womb has been in for centuries. So even if you're unaware of what trauma might be there, if you're like, I don't know if I really have any trauma there, there's something there for you to work with, because that's just the nature of the womb right now. Like, we all hold trauma in our womb. And so in this container, we're going to be going into that trauma in the most pleasurable ways. Like, yeah, sometimes going into and doing that work might make us cry. It might bring up some emotions that we have to sit with, and you'll have a group space to do that. You'll have access to me to hold space for you anytime you need. But also, that doesn't have to take long. Like, I've worked through some really intense trauma in my womb, like really intense current life trauma, like things that have happened in my past, and really intense ancestral trauma, like horrifying things that I've worked through in my womb space. And yes, I've cried through it when I've worked through it. Yes, I've gotten, angry or had emotions about it. But I also bring in, like, I also think of the when I remember doing that trauma work for myself, a lot of it actually I remember being incredibly pleasurable, because I brought in the energy of that sacred womb space, that sacred sexual space, and I moved through my healing with orgasm, or I moved through my healing with ritual, like pussy gazing, looking at myself in the mirror and really getting to understand my anatomy and love it. Or I worked through that trauma with dancing, movement, like moving my body and moving it out in ways that felt really pleasurable, so that even if I was also crying, I was also, like, I was rewriting those neural pathways and those somatic pathways to release the trauma and bring in pleasure, so that now when I think about my healing journey through my womb space, I actually think of the pleasure of it. I think of how incredibly, like, ecstatic and orgasmic and just opening, heart opening, womb opening it was, and continues to be. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you to do in this course. That's what we're going to be doing as a group. There is nothing more powerful than coming into the womb in this way and coming into your sacred pleasure and expression than in sisterhood. Like, it is incredible. It is incredible, because we can all, in that group, we can all share and activate each other further. And that's why this is a group program and not an individual program, although there are individual components, so that you can work with me by yourself as well for some of those things that you maybe need a one-on-one support for. But the reason it's a group is because moving through that ecstatic, creatrix, birthing, or like orgasmic, pleasurable energy, and learning how to move it through the body, and learning how to do so with sisters, because we all have this incredible gift of having a womb in our body and having this energy that we get to work with in this life. It's life changing. It's life changing, activating energy, because it's heralding back to ancient times when women worked together and lived together in priestess temples, and really studied and embodied sacred sexuality to share it with the world and to share it with partners and to share it with just it like this way of connecting into that sacred sexuality and sensuality, like it's just a way of life. It's just when you're in that energy, everything you do becomes part of it, and not in like overtly not necessarily in like overtly sexual ways. It's literally just like the way you drink coffee is orgasmic and sensual. The way that you make your food is like, I'm nourishing my body in this really gorgeous, beautiful way, right? It's so beautiful, and there's this gorgeous like interconnection and healing of your inner masculine and feminine that gets to happen with this as well, and that we'll be working on within the group. Um, and it really is a way of activating this whole new way, this whole new level of showing up in the world. And I'm so excited to share this. So we start November 10th. I will put the link to join us in the comments or the description of the video. Um, there is an early bird offer that is live at least through tomorrow. I may be extending it, but we'll feel into that. But it's live through the 25th of October at the moment, where you get a discount off paying in full, and you get an extra one-on-one session with me. So really, really awesome value. Um, and this is just truly going to be, I am so excited to teach this and guide this experience and program and um, up level for all the women who join me. And so if you want to join me, if you're feeling called, please come. Please trust your intuition. Please come on this journey with me, because it is really going to be absolutely ecstatically beautiful and life changing. And the other beautiful thing is we start right after Samhain and the eclipse season. And Samhain is basically the ancient celebration of moving from harvest season to the time of darkness and going inward and healing and resting. And so we're doing this program from November 10th to December 29th. So that by the time we're finished, we're moving into the new year, and you'll have the tools to continue to create this incredible, ecstatic, orgasmic, sensual life and energy within yourself, and to continue healing any trauma that comes up in your womb space, because things will come up. I still have things come up, but it's knowing how to work through it in ways that like make you excited and in ways that turn you on, as opposed to make you like come in on yourself and be like, no, I can't do this. This is too uncomfortable, right? So looking forward, so deeply forward to doing this journey and holding this group. And again, if you want to join me, the link to join is in the description below. All right. Wishing you a beautiful day and so many blessings. And wishing you also a beautiful eclipse tomorrow. I hope that it treats you well. And with that, sending you blessings from my heart to yours.